Peace and greetings, family. Peace and greetings. It is I, Goddess Queen Oz, Goddess Queen Jamila Osset, and I am just making sure that my computer is about that life. Let me just, okay, I think that way I can lean properly. Okay, so today we are talking about your voice. We are talking about your voice. How are you using your voice? Um, Part of the reason that we want to have this conversation around voice is because um, we are walking into a time period where everything is just very loud. Everything is being multiplied. Everything is like on a loudspeaker. And for those of you, before I forget to mention, for those of you who are on the replay, make sure you share this video with your friends. Feel free to like it. Feel free to post it on your page. Or any other videos that you see me do. I don't see y'all sharing enough of my content. Like, I know it's thousands of y'all out there. Like, the page itself has about 3,000 likes and 3,000 follows. So I should at least have 300 people sharing this and other videos. Every time you see a video, share it to your page. Because if there's something juicy that you're taking away from the video, I'm pretty sure that your family and friends can benefit from watching as well. So don't be greedy. Don't try to keep me to yourself. I remember somebody saying to me years ago, like, oh, I don't want to give you my doctor's information. I have a really great doctor, but I don't want to give her information out. And I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, because if I share her information, then she'll be really crowded and I won't be able to book appointments. That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Like, let me just say that for the record. That's stupid as shit. Because we won't be booking on the same day necessarily during the same time period. Are you at the doctor's every single day, every single week? Okay, so before I get off on that tangent, today we are talking about using your voice. And that is a very clear example of using your voice. Because in that particular situation, I didn't tell her that that was dumb as shit. I just kind of kept my commentary to myself and I didn't say anything. And she probably tra-la-la'd through life thinking that that was cool to be stingy and greedy in that way. But it's really important that we use our voice, especially as women. Uh, Part of what's taking place right now politically has a lot to do with women's voices being drowned out in favor of other people's voices. You know, this whole thing about pro-choice and pro-life politically, it's less about the politics for me and more about the theory. Like, I don't feel like I have the right to vote on Native American matters. I don't feel like I have the right to vote on things that have to do with people with hysterectomies because I am not Native American and I have never had a hysterectomy. So the idea of me writing laws or making decisions for someone who I like, that's not me and I don't have any control, or I'm not interested in controlling that. That seems extra. And it's a very symbolic move. Like, when we think about the pro-choice and pro-life thing, for me personally, I am pro-choice because at the end of the day, you have to choose what's best for you. Whether you are Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, if you're Taoist, if you are atheist, you are to choose what works best for you. My biggest policy in life and with my spiritual teachings is do what works best for you unless it harms yourself or the life of someone else. That's it. That's it. Do what works best for you unless it harms you or someone else. That's all. You have to make that decision ultimately for you. Nobody can save you from your decision. Nobody can force you to drink water. You have to make a decision for you. So that is why your voice matters so much. Because in the society that we live in, it is easy for your voice to get drowned out in the voices of other people. It's easy for people to talk over you. It's easy for people to say things that deter you or discourage you from responding. It's easy to feel as though, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to say the wrong thing, and someone may get mad at me. And y'all know I have this Facebook thing where I am having to make sure that I can see commentary from either another window or another device because I cannot see commentary here. Okay, give thanks and praise. So, hey y'all, hey. Now I can see y'all are there. Give thanks. So the question is, what are you saying to yourself? Now I'm gonna tell you a quick story, and before I do, I just want to shout out to my necklace. Okay, I am Team Cowrie Show, and long ago, at the beginning of time, cowrie shells were currency. We didn't have banknotes and dollars and change and centavos and dinero. We had cowrie shells. So I am essentially wearing $1 million on my neck today. That is what I am wearing today. This is my fashions for the day. Give thanks and praise. And if you would like to be a part of my wearings, I am opening up an online boutique because I have started to understand that there is something very significant about my attire, and that has prompted me to start collecting different pieces. Y'all know that I've been to 12 countries in the last 2 years, so I will start collecting different pieces to offer on my online boutique for your wearing pleasure. Give thanks. So, very quick story. At the beginning of my spiritual journey, I was diagnosed with heavy duty depression and PTSD. And it took me a while to really process it. As a matter of fact, I'm still processing it because recently I read a chapter that I wrote when I contributed to a book project probably about 10 years ago. And in that particular chapter, I talked about starting my very first business, which is called Camp Butterfly Bella, or Project Bella Girls. And Camp Butterfly Bella is a summer enrichment program that I did for girls between the ages of 5 to 14 years old. Absolutely adorable. So excited about everything that I did with those girls. I really, really, really enjoyed the time that I spent doing that work, and that work was very meaningful to me. However, I was such a new entrepreneur, so untrained, so raw, that I went in full throttle, but I went in full throttle without proper fuel. Without proper fuel. And because I did not have proper fuel, I felt very, very, very burnt out. I felt very exhausted. I felt very overwhelmed. I felt overridden with work. I felt all over the place. I was just exhausted. I was tired, constantly tired. And I was overweight. I had a lot of children. I had 4 children at the time. Everybody was probably under the age of 15. So there was probably a 7 to 15-year-old gap. And I was just overwhelmed. Okay, to even use the word overwhelmed might even be an understatement. And as a result of all that I was feeling at that time, my mental health just really started to decline quickly. Like, I was probably hanging on by a thread before I started the business. But because of the business and because of how much work it takes to really start a business, to really start and run it. And then I had parents that I'm working with. I had the children that I'm working with. I had the team that I'd hired. It was just a lot. And so my mental health started to decline very quickly. But what really sealed the deal is this incident that I talk about in this particular chapter, where I bring up an interaction that I had with the cleaning lady in the building. There was a cleaning lady, a black woman who was older. She was probably in her late 50s. And she would clean the building. She was very flippant, very, whatever. But I didn't think we had any beef until I walked in one day and trying to open the door for my parents. She said, you know, you can't open that door. And so I was just very confused. I was like, no, I have to open the door for my parents. Like, the kids got to come in. And when I went to open the door, she proceeded to attack me and physically attack me. It was a physical assault. And in the process of her attacking me, she tried to drag me out of the building. You know, we're literally engaged in a physical interaction where she is this is assault. And when that happened, my main concern was the kids that I am taking care of. I'm a caretaker. I have these kids, these girls for camp. Like, my mind was not focused on my safety. I wasn't paying attention to me at all. I'm just like, I got to make sure these kids are okay. And so with that interaction, it ended with the police, and it ended with all these things, and it led to me just being very embarrassed. I was ashamed. I had a lot of emotions going on. And that is when it went from just me having depression and suffering from ADHD at that time to now PTSD. So it was very intense. And throughout the time that I was dealing with this, my self-talk was in the toilet. And when I reflect back on why that is, it's hard to have good self-talk when you're dealing with mental health challenges. It's hard to have good self-talk when you are depressed. It's hard to have good self-talk when you're not feeling yourself. You're not loving on yourself. You don't have compassion for yourself. You feel some type of way about yourself. It's hard to have good self-talk when all those conditions and factors are present. How? How you gonna have good self-talk when all that stuff is there? Make it make sense. If you made a major mistake, and now as a result of that mistake, you are dealing with the consequences financially, where's the motivation coming for the self-talk? It is hard to have good self-talk, but it is essential. You have to watch what you say to yourself. You have to watch what you say to yourself. One of my clients, bless her, when we did our coaching work, when we did our meditation sessions together, I had to tell her, listen, you're not going to talk to my client like that. You're not going to talk nasty. She would say these things to herself. She would just beat up on herself like, I should have did better, and I could have done this more, and I could have went this route, and I could have made this call, and I could have, should have, would have, and I could have, would have. Baby, you didn't. And have some compassion for yourself. We have to really put some distance. We have to put some distance in the way that we are speaking to ourselves. How are you using your voice? Use your voice to say sweet things. Use your voice to encourage you. Can I remind you of something? The world will beat you down. The society will already try you. Society will already have you thinking that you ain't nothing. Society will already have you feeling some type of way. There's all sorts of negative feedback that, if you would like, you can get on the outside. But at the very minimum, can you be the vessel to bring positive self-talk into your life? Can you bring some sweetness? Can you bring some compassion? Can you bring some forgiveness? Can you bring some appreciation? And, with that particular situation that I went through, it was very, very challenging for me to flip the switch to positive talk. I was so wrapped up in a negative bubble. I didn't even realize how negative I was. I didn't realize how negative I was until I started to go to a therapist and started to take my mental health seriously. Because that's ultimately what can happen. If that negative talk goes on and on and on and on and on, that means that you are reducing your own battery. You are turning the light down on yourself. You are knucking if you bucking on your own self. And that will challenge your mental health. It will challenge everything about your mind because the voice is here. The voice is here. And yes, there are other factors. There are other factors that tie into our self-talk, right? The way that we were brought up. If you were brought up with people around you, like for example, my mom, she is naggy. We all know, give thanks and praise. My mom, love her. Everyone loves her, but she is a nag. She's gonna nitpick, nag. She's a professional at it. She's not gonna let up. Everything is a problem. But what's it? And then she's Trini, right? She's Trinidadian, so there's the accent that goes along with the nagging. So it's a combo move. It's it's 1 2 1 2, you know, and nag 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 nag, you know, and it can be annoying. But because that's my mom, and that's who brought me up, who raised me, then that means now that voice is actually in my head. Now I too can nag myself. I too can nitpick in my own head. Oh, Jamila, you didn't do that well. Jamila, you didn't. Oh, come on, Goddess Queen, you could do that better. Come on, I can just go in on me a little bit. I can go in on me, and it's easy to go in on you. Can I tell you that every single one of us has an ego? And when it comes to your ego is actually responsible for a lot of that negative self-talk and a lot of that criticism. Your ego is responsible for that. And the thing about the ego is that it's such a tricky organism. And it's a tricky organism because our ego is actually trying to help us. Our ego is actually trying to look out for us. You know, so let's say that you want to, I don't know, lose 20 pounds. You want to lose some weight. You want to lose 10 pounds. You want to get fit, whatever the case may be. You actually, before you even start doing anything, you may hear your ego say, you can't do that. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to lose any weight. And then, you know, the other part of you was like, well, why? Why would you say that? And the ego will tell you a story about, you know, remember that time that you tried to lose weight before? It didn't work, did it? That didn't work. You tried to lose it last year. You lose it at New Year's. It didn't work. And even if you are pushing yourself forward, even if you're trying to push yourself forward, you're like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyways. You're doing it from a place of, this is not going to work. You're doing it from that place because your ego has already scared you. It's already given you some sort of foundational fear of trying too hard. Now your body is instead of working on 100% battery, now you're working on 20% battery because you don't want to overexert yourself. I found myself doing that at the African dance conference that I attended. I went to this African dance conference, and there's already this story that's running in my head that I'm not great at it anymore because it's been so long since I've practiced, and I need one-on-one practice, and I need more of this, and I need more training, I need more of that. So already I'm walking in there half battery. I'm walking in there like, oh Lord, I'm gonna be confused. I'm not good at choreography. The point is, we have to become aware. Your job is to become aware of how you are speaking to yourself. That's your job. You got to become aware. What are you saying to yourself? Why are you saying that? First of all, start by asking yourself, who are you when yourself says you can't do that, right? We're speaking to ourselves. You speak to yourself. You can't do that. You will waste your energy. You will waste your time. You have to say, who are you talking to? Don't talk to me like that. This is your self-talk. This is the conversation that you're having here. If you're not going to encourage you, who's going to encourage you? If you're not going to support you, this is you. And you are so important. You are so precious. You are such a divine creature. You are a divine creature of the Most High. There's so many wonderful things that we can say about you. And the ego isn't trying to talk negatively about you. The ego is just trying to save you, honey. The ego is like, girl, don't even bother doing that. We don't do that. Don't try to lose any weight. You know, maybe it's dating. Maybe you're trying to date. And the ego's like, remember last time you did that? How did that work out? Right? The ego is your skeptical friend. That's what the ego's role is. To be skeptical, to be cautious. And very often, if you feed that ego, it will lead to you being very fearful. The ego will create a mask, a cloud, an essence of fear. And we don't want to live from an essence of fear. That's not the point. That's not the point. So you have to use your voice, even in speaking to yourself. You have to use your voice to reiterate what it is that you want yourself to know. Everyone knows that I advocate for journaling. And I'm going to present you with an offer on this particular call, on this particular instructional, this particular workshop. I don't even know what to call these things anymore. This particular workshop, I'm going to present you all with an offer because it's important for you to take things a step further. Just showing up and getting this little appetizer, it's not going to clear the appetite. It's not going to set the appetite in. I always say to my students, listen, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you all are the ones who came to win. And the reason that I tell my students and my members that they are the ones who came to win is because they show up and they pay for the meal. Showing up for the free stuff, I mean, it's cute or whatever, but you're not really going to make no traction. You know why? Because as soon as you finish with this particular lesson, as soon as you finish with this particular workshop, you're going to watching the TikTok video. You're going to watching the Instagram. And this is not me being negative. This is not me being shady. I'm not being negative. I'm just being honest, right? And I'm being honest from the most loving place that I can be. Because that is the hustle. The hustle is that you will rotate in a complete circle. You will go 360 degrees and go nowhere. Why? Because you are consuming free content only. Free content only. When you're consuming free content only, you go in a complete circle. You don't advance. Difference between eating a meal and eating a snack. So when you are eating a snack, that is the free content. That is the chips, right? Or that is the Twinkie and the Hostess cinnamon roll and some soda. And those things have no nutritional value. Those things are high sugar, high calorie, high fructose, high fat content, and low nutritional value. A nice slice of fish, right? Now, or you have some okra and you have some tomatoes and you have some onions, right? Now the body gets to enjoy and take in all of those that food and those nutrients and be sustained. Now you're not so hungry. So there's levels to this. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to make an offer today, but I'm going to continue to make offers. I've been telling everyone across the airwaves, you have to download Goddess Awakening. Stop looking at me every day on Instagram. Stop looking at me every day on Facebook. Stop looking at me every day on YouTube and listen to what I'm saying. Because if I do not say anything else, I'm going to beat the horn. Get on the I'm going to get on the loudspeaker. I'm going to get on the horn so that you can understand where it is that I am directing you. Get Goddess Awakening. I'm trying to tell you something right now. We're in a very precarious period. Women are losing their voice. You see that. I know you see it. I know you see it. I know that you see it. How can people on the Supreme Court tell women you done went into somebody's vagina and women told them what they can and what? Now I'm hearing that they're outlawing contraception. Y'all don't think that's wild? It's just me. Is it just me? Okay. It's just me. Peace and greetings, peace and greetings. Goddess Ebony's in the building. I apologize. I have to look at the phone in order to see comments and feedback. So give thanks and praise. Peace and greetings. My love, my love. So there is a clear yet very underlying energy that is pumping and vibrating in the air. And that energy is saying, be quiet. Sit down, be quiet, don't say nothing. You don't have nothing to say, you're a woman. There's something in the air. There's something in the air, there's something in the air, and I don't like it. So we have to we got to get to a point. And let me tell you all how this voice thing works. Let me just teach it to you the right way. There's levels to this. Before you can, at the top level of voice is advocacy. Okay, so I want you to think of it like a pyramid, and I'm actually going to use my paper to write this down. Okay, so that's advocacy, and that's at the top. Okay, but before you get to advocacy, you have to get to a different part. And before you get to that part, to confidence, you have to, okay. All right, so I am just, okay, I am just making a little mountain to articulate the levels of your voice. Okay, so don't judge my handwriting. I'm judging my own. I'm what is it called? Projecting. I'm projecting. So at the top, this is your voice, right? And let me just write that on the side. Your voice. Okay. At the top of your voice, you have advocacy. This is when you are shining. So, actually, let me start from the bottom. Okay. So we're here. We're here. We're at getting power over negative self-talk, right? That is when the mind has turned against the mind. When the words and the voice in the mind are actually attacking what's in the mind. You are attacking you. You versus you. That's here. And you are in that space where you are getting power. You're trying to empower yourself over negative self-talk. You can hear yourself saying things that you're like, why am I thinking like that? Why am I talking to myself like that? Why am I being like that with myself? Okay, so that is at the very bottom. And that's where most people start out. So I did it from the bottom to the top. So after you get over this part, then you enter into the realm of confidence, where you talk with confidence. You like, first of all, give thanks and praise. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am, period. Where there is a level of confidence when you speak about you're speaking about you with love. You're speaking about you with honor. You're speaking about yourself with respect. You are talking your shit. You are speaking with clarity. You are speaking with understanding of who you are. You are speaking empowerment. You are saying, I love you, and I know you can do it. When it comes to that gym, you don't go up and say, oh, well, I can't. No, you go in there and you be like, first of all, I can do all things. It's me. It is I. I have overcome smaller things before, and I know I can do this. This is nothing to a giant. Okay, now I'm revealing my own self, because that's how I talk to my own self. All right, so that exhibits confidence, because this is about your voice. Okay, now after confidence, we see advocacy. What does this mean? What does advocacy mean when I speak about it in terms of voice? Advocacy means that now you're in a position to be able to advocate for others. You're in a position to be able to say, on behalf of this person, on behalf of them, I'm speaking up for them. Okay, now you're able to advocate. Now you're able to come forward and say, no, that's not cool, or don't do that to her. Don't slap her, don't touch her, don't blah 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 blah. Advocacy. Advocacy, when you can step outside of your own self and be a voice for others. So there are levels to this. There are levels to this. And after you get to advocacy, guess what? It starts all over again. But this time it starts with other people. And now you're speaking to other people about their negative self-talk. Now you're helping to empower other people with their confidence. And now you're helping to help other people be advocates as well. You follow me? Are you with me? Are we together on this? Are we seeing eye to eye? Are we seeing eye to eye? One thing I am going to do from now until the end of my days is use my voice. I'm going to use my voice. I'm going to make sure that what I say is what I mean, and what I mean is what I say. And something that I want to just point out that really has a lot to do with the confidence bubble. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take this phone off. Don't mind me. One thing that has to do with that confidence bubble is, remember, and who still has look at my mother's phone. She still has landline. I was watching, what was I watching the other day? I was watching the TikTok, and on the TikTok, the baby had to ask questions about phone, and they asked this teenager, he's probably like 13 years old. They were like, what is a collect call? He didn't know what a collect call was. He didn't know what a landline was. He didn't know what dial-up meant. He didn't know what toll-free was or something like that. I'm like, these kids. Oh, I think there was an answering machine. And then they asked him about an answering machine. They asked him about a Walkman. These children. Anyways, my babies probably don't know what that is either. All right, give thanks and praise. So there are definitely levels to using your voice. There are definitely levels to that. And one of the things that I want to point out is when it comes to confidence, right? So confidence is the second level, right? Confidence is the second level. It's all right here. Now, when it comes to confidence, you can actually do a lot to hurt your confidence when you are not aware of your self-talk and you are making promises that you don't intend to keep. When you are saying things that you don't really mean, what you do is you deduct points. You deduct points from your confidence in yourself. See, the thing about it is that when you lie, or when you're not honest, or when you're not operating in integrity with your word, what happens is that yourself is always listening. You are always listening to you. And if you say something, or if you agree to do something, but you know you're not going to do it, then what you do is you diminish the power of your voice. You are not keeping word, and you are lying, and yourself knows that. So yourself starts to not even trust you. You don't even trust you. Because you hear yourself saying it. You hear yourself saying, okay, well, yeah, I'll get up early in the morning and go do blah, blah, blah. Knowing that you have no intentions of doing that. And so because of the fact that you're saying, even if you're not saying it out loud, even if you're thinking it, like, I'm going to make a promise to myself to do this. When you don't honor those promises that you make to yourself, you are lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. And that hurts you as well. Lying to yourself hurts you so much. Oh my goodness. And there's a difference between lying to yourself and saying something that you have to practice saying until you believe it, like until you can get the confidence to really execute it, right? Um, I'll be leading my second international retreat in Rwanda this year. And baby, I still have to keep saying that to myself. Like, I'm really leading my second international retreat in Rwanda because last year, with the retreat that I did in Tanzania, it was like I had to keep saying, I had to keep saying it because it's still so big to me. It's still so big to me. That is my homecoming concert. That is a big homecoming moment for me. And not a homecoming concert in the sense that this is the biggest production that I'll ever have. And Beyonce, I don't even know. Beyonce, can you have bigger productions? I think that's the biggest production Beyonce can have because it's homecoming. That was big. But the biggest one that I'm doing to date. And it's taken me about 9 months to really create this experience. I've really put a lot into this experience in Rwanda. So it's important for me to say it to myself, but and with me, it's different because I am saying it to remind myself that this is what's happening, this is what's happening. But if you say something to yourself and you know you are not being honest with yourself and lying to yourself, then that means that you are reducing the trust and the confidence that you can even have in yourself. And that's dangerous. Your voice is so important. Your voice is so important. When we look at the vocal cord, I would have loved to seen if I could have taken a done a screen share so you all can see this. But there's a picture of the vocal cord, and the vocal cord is something that when scrolling, I saw this picture of this vocal cord on my timeline, and it scared me. Like, I was just shocked and surprised and not really expecting to see it, but only because of the fact that it looked like a vagina. And what I was led to understand about the way that it looked and the way that it was shaped and just everything about the vocal cord is, like they say, we are always speaking spells. We are always casting spells with our words. Our words are powerful tools. Even our thoughts, powerful tools. Powerful tools. Sometimes we don't advance in the way that we really want to and need to because of the things that we are saying to ourselves. The things that we are saying and thinking in our thoughts to ourselves. So use your voice. Use your voice. Make a list of the things that you recognize that have been challenging for you. What has been challenging right now during this time of your life? What's been most challenging right now? What's really had you up for a doozy? What's really had you like, dang, I really wish I could work on XXX. I really wish I could, do blah 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 blah. What's had you like that? And once you identify what's had you like that, then get clear on why it's like that. Why is it like that? What are the things that you're thinking about it? What is the true way that you're feeling about it? Because if you're feeling a type of way about it, we got to address that. We got to address that. One of the most lovely things that I have been able to benefit from in my business has not been business classes itself. It's been mindset work. Okay. This thing is really like, girl, you need to get your life together. I hope my live stream is live streaming. I'm not going to stay on long today. But I hope my live stream is live streaming because Facebook keeps giving me notices and saying your live stream is possibly not live streaming, And I just need them to get that together so I don't have to worry about that. Facebook. So yeah, one of the most powerful things that I have done in my line of work as a business owner has been mindset work. And I'm going through another round of it right now. I'm going through another round of it that's so strong and so powerful that I may even do 30 days of videos. Like, my plan initially was to take August off. Y'all know it's my birthday month, so start celebrating now. I'm expecting gifts. I'm expecting full turn up. I'm expecting a surprise party. I'm expecting the full thing. I'm expecting everything. It's my birthday. I expect you all to, go the extra mile. Whether you're my fans, whether you're my members, whether you're my students, whether you're my friends, whoever is watching, I'm expecting a gift from you. So make sure you send it to me. You can ask me for my address. You can ask me for. I will take Cash App. I will take Venmo. I'll take Zelle. I'll take it all. If it's money, I will receive it with love. I will receive it all. I'll receive it. So, for me, mindset work has been a really, really big thing, and I've been putting a lot more energy and effort into that now. But one of the things that I understand about mindset work that I didn't really get before is when you try to start changing and when you try to start doing healing work or doing any kind of work without the reprogramming, it's literally like trying to bring in new furniture when you have old furniture still there. We know that every single thing starts with a cleanup process. We got to clean out the old stuff, y'all. We got to clean out the old stuff to bring in the new stuff. You cannot bring in the new stuff unless you have cleaned out the old stuff. The old stuff has to go. You can't bring in a new furniture set if you already have an old furniture set there. You can't bring in a new dining. Everything will be cluttered. We have to clean out. We have to clean out. One of the things that I'm actually enjoying about being in my mama's house right now is how much cleaning I'm doing in her house. I'm like, you got 5 junk drawers? Why? I will clean them. Okay, my Virgo is like, yes, let's get up in there and clean that. We will clean it. We are not playing. So there are definitely levels to this. There are levels to this, but every single level, when you are making a change, when you are flipping the switch on, where you are going into another level of evolution, it starts with cleaning. It starts with, you got to clean out, you got to clear out the old before you can bring in the new. You have to. It's just a part of the process. It's nature. Every time they have a big brush fire in California, everybody gets all, they're having fires in California. They have to, the trees will burn. I don't know if it's called deforestation. I don't know what it's called. But the trees will burn down. And new trees will come. New trees will come. Trust me, nature is ongoing. Nature does not stop for no monkeys. And one monkey is not going to stop nature's show. So it's ongoing. When it comes to using your voice, you got to let go of the things that your voice has been saying to you that no longer assist you, that are no longer relevant. Oh, remember when you did that and it didn't work? Baby, respond and say, baby, that was 5 years ago. Let that go. Okay, that's how you're going to talk to yourself. That's how you're going to talk to the ego. That was 5 years ago. We're going to let that go, right? Give thanks and praise. We will let that go. We're going to let it go. We're moving forward. We're living in the present moment. So we can't live in the present and in the past at the same time. We got to pick one. Are we here or are we there? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Which one? So I give thanks because your voice is one of the most powerful tools that you have. It's one of the most powerful tools that you have. And so you want to start in a place where you are curious with yourself and you are saying, what am I actually saying to myself? Pull up a subject that you feel touchy about. Pull up a subject that you wish, damn, I really wish I could have some leeway and I could make some changes in my life when it comes to this. What is that area? What is that subject? Is it love? Pull up the subject of love. Write down all your beliefs about love. Right? And then when you write down all your beliefs, look at what it is that you've been saying to yourself. Be honest. I'm not there. Be honest. This is you and you. You ain't got to worry about somebody judging what you're saying to yourself. You are speaking to yourself. This is called self-work. When we talk about doing the work, this is what the work looks like, my love. This is what the work looks like, beloved. This is what it looks like, my dear. It looks like you sitting with yourself and doing some of these things. You know, I get to flex a little bit harder than many, because I have done so much self-work, and I continue to do self-work. We go into cycles. We go into cycles where we're heavy with it. Then we fall back a little bit. Then we're heavy again. Then we fall back a little bit. We go back and forth with that. And we do that because that's part of balancing. So now if we're reprogramming our thoughts and we're reprogramming the things that we're thinking, and we're being very cautious of how are we speaking to ourselves. If we're doing that now and we're going through that now, the first place to start is by saying, well, what have I been thinking? What have I been thinking? What am I on? What is this? What's in here? Because it's yours. This mind is yours. This beautiful mind. It's yours. It is yours. Sit down with your journal. And that's the offer that I needed to make to you. Discovering you. I have a 30-day program that is just designed to help you discover more about what you are saying about you. It's called Discovering You. And it's 30 days. And every day you get a text message or an email. And every single day you are prompted to put down the answer to that text or email in your journal. It's just a question. It's just going to ask you a question. May even ask you 2 questions. And it's just about pulling back the layers to really discover more about yourself. In all things knowing, know thyself. We've spent so much time getting to know everybody on the outside. Most people can tell you who people and celebrities are dating, what movie is coming out, what trailers are available. We can say a lot of different things. There's a lot of things that we can say. But we don't even know why we were put here on this earth, what the purpose is, how far we're going to be able to go, how you want to die. Have you planned out your death? How would you want to? Have you ever thought about it? Where would you buy a piece of land? What would you put on your land? What charity would you give for the rest of your life? There's so many different questions. And we don't take the time to dive into ourselves. We're well versed on other people, but not versed on ourselves. And I am going to just pick up the computer, walk over and get my charger. So I can continue this conversation. But it's important for you to know yourself. It's important for you to know who you are. It's important for you to know why you're here. It's important for you to know what you're here to do and who essentially you are here to do it with. Some of us haven't even began to find our soul family. Haven't found our soul family. Haven't identified the people who are our partners on this journey called life. We haven't even gotten into it. Not for real. Not for real. So part of that process is just peeling back the layers. And when you peel back the layers, you are peeling back the layers to identify and uncover what is actually going on in your head. Because there can be all kinds of thoughts in your head that may not even belong to you. Sometimes we desire things. We think we desire things, but it's not really our desires. It's what's been injected and put in there. I keep saying, get the book. God is Awakening talks about all of this. It talks about programming. It's about mind programming. Everybody is walking around as a cow or goat or sheep or something like that. Not fully awake. No presence. Just here. And we don't want to be here anymore. Not in that capacity. We want to be present. Because when you are not present, when you are not even in tune with what's going on in your own mind and you're saying things, those things are like reins. They're keeping you pulled back. They're like shackles. They're keeping you locked down from the things that you want. It's like you're almost close to getting that piece of fruit, but your shackles and your reins are keeping you from getting the piece of fruit. You versus you, because who put them shackles on you? It's you. In your voice. Oh, you don't need that. You can't get that. It ain't gonna make no difference anyways. You gonna blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear that. What are you saying to yourself? How are you using your voice? Are you using your voice to empower yourself, or are you using your voice to say things to yourself that are disempowering? Are you using your voice to say things to yourself that other people would deem as offensive? The things that you're saying to yourself, would you say them to other people? Would you say them to other people? So if you wouldn't say them to other people, then why are you saying it to you? This is all part of the process. This is all part of the process. All part of the process. And if it's 300 of you who are watching in this very moment, or 3.5% of the population, the message is still the same. Use your voice. Use your self-talk to empower yourself. Use your self-talk to enrich yourself. What I want to do is I'm going to read you some empowering affirmations. One of the brothers who was in the retreat experience that I had in Mexico, he decided to create an I am thread. I'm going to go get his inspired thread. And I'm going to read to you all what he said. All right. This message brought to you by Honeydew Melon Juice. We have juiced honeydew melon. It's so sweet and so good. I was thinking about adding a lemon or a lime to it. Just to balance the sweetness, because it's so sweet. Goddess Ebony, you know that honeydew melon is like super sweet and super good. And I was just going to eat it, but Katora was like, no, let's juice it. So that was great. So let me pull up. Let me pull up this this thread. Okay. And this is just a string of I am statements. Oh, and that's just great. Because right now this thing is like, oh, I don't want to cooperate. So let me act a fool. Okay. All right. Give thanks and praise. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to shed no tears. Try it one more time. Okay. All right. So I'll take the time to create a little short video that just goes over I am statements. But some of the things that I do remember was I am powerful. I am a magnificent manifester. I am magical. I am awakened. I am aligned. I am enlightened. I am divine. I am wealthy. I am rich. I am healthy. I am spiritual. I am magnificent. I am one of a kind. I am rich as fuck, according to Easy. I am that I am. I am eternal. I am love. I am abundance. I am limitless. I am statements can go on and on and on and on. I remember talking to a young lady the other day. Was it a young lady or a young man who didn't even know who Louise Hay was? And that was so wild to me. I was like, you don't know Louise Hay? If you want affirmations, baby, go to Louise Hay's. Go to look Louise Hay up and get the affirmations. Get the affirmations, because those affirmations will certainly help you. It will certainly help you. They have all of these newer artists, really creative artists who are putting out I am um I am albums in essence. And those I am albums are definitely reflections of um where we want to be in terms of our thoughts. There's one called um I don't want to get to lying to y'all. First of all, let me not be a liar. I think I think her name is Tony Jones. I think her name is Tony Jones. And then there's someone called Londrell. I know that for a fact. Okay. So I'll just leave it at that because I can't name all the people and I can't even access um, into my thing. So Goddess Ebony says, I Can Heal My Life is one of Louise Hay's of books that she enjoys listening to. Absolutely. I will always give Louise Hay full credit for how listening to her affirmations helped me when I was at my lowest point and really, really struggling with depression. So, so yeah, how are you using your voice? How are you using your voice? How are you using your voice and using your voice positively, watching your words? That's a daily process. One of the things that I have gotten in the habit of doing is speaking to my water and saying things like I am abundant, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that, stuff like that. And that really helps me to affirm it, to hear myself say it, to put it into what I'm consuming in my body, to double it up, to triple it up, just to be in that right aligned place. Okay, I'm happy, I am bliss. And just even saying I am bliss, I have been emerging in bliss over and over again. Okay, so that is today's conversation. That is today's segment. I love you. I love you so much. I'm always excited for you to join me and for you to be here with me as we just talk about, life and spirituality. And if you want to download Discovering You, I would highly suggest it. Discovering You is one of those timeless courses, simple course, daily emails, 30 days, and it will give you an opportunity to even become a part of Chambers of a Goddess, which is our private membership group. And I'm going to just drop a comment here so all who are interested can. All right, perfect. And that is going to say Goddess on the Rise, but that is actually for Discovering You. And once you get in there, you'll get access to that 30-day email and text program. Okay? So with that, I will wish you adieu. I love you very much. I'll see you sooner rather than later. And again, if you are watching in present time or even on the replay, please share, please like, please make sure that you send it to someone who you know can benefit from this particular conversation around using your voice and choosing your words wisely. All right, take care. Peace.